Hello, my name is Erin, and I'm very new to the ASMR community. I did a Reddit IMA a week ago, and during the IMA, people kept telling me that I really needed to look into ASMR videos and into the community. I didn't know what ASMR meant, what it stood for. I didn't really know anything, so I decided to it up, and I took their advice. And this is my introduction video. I thought today, since I am just now getting accustomed to the idea, that I would just talk for a while and let you get to know me, if that's something you're interested in. I had never heard of ASMR before, and it turns out it's something that I've experienced since I was a child, since I was a little girl. I remember getting tingles when I heard certain sounds and voices, for as long as I can remember, and I didn't know what it was called, and I had no idea that there were other people like me. I still get tingles. For me, it's listening to certain people speak, certain sounds, and it can happen when someone's in proximity to me. Like if someone I like is standing behind me and they say something and they're pretty close to the back of my neck or something, but I mean not necessarily close enough to touch me, but I get tingles. This is kind of weird, but certain old movie stars, sometimes I hear their voices and I get tingles. I think maybe it has something to do with the way they learned to speak back then, and the diction and pronunciation, eloquence, it was more musical. So that's my experience. I'm still learning about the whole community. And by the way, I'm open to suggestions. I'm using my regular voice right now. I'm not whispering because I'm a natural low talker anyway. And if I whisper, you may not hear me at all. That being said, right after I did my Reddit IMA, I actually got the flu and I lost my voice. So it's kind of coming back slowly. If I sound weird or different, that's why. Gosh, I hope my voice comes back to normal. It's been gone for a week. So yeah, I want you to get to know me, and I'll tell you a story. Well, first of all, what I did my Reddit IMA about is how we're different and how we're alike. And my opinion is that all of our differences, mental, physical, emotional experience, they actually make us more alike. How am I different? That's what my Reddit IMA was about. And if you didn't see it, I'll go ahead and introduce you. I was born with a somewhat rare, although not as rare as I thought, skeletal deformity called radial club hands. And what that means is, well, it varies depending on the case, but the radius bone is the bone in the forearm, which makes the forearm long and it also gives us our opposable thumbs. So, in cases of radial club hands, that bone is missing or deformed. And sometimes it's one arm, sometimes it's both. In my case, I was born with the radius bone missing in both arms. Now, I mentioned all of this in my video before, but I do want you to get to know me, so I'm telling you again. And maybe you'll see me touch my hair or do something with my hands and you'll be startled. I don't want that. I want to relax you and soothe you. So, these are my hands. In my case, my story is that I was born a twin. I have an identical twin sister. Well, if I say she's beautiful, that means I'm complimenting myself. But we do actually look fairly different. And she is beautiful. So she wasn't born with any skeletal anomalies or anything. She's kind of like the perfect version. And we're very, very close. She's my best friend in the world. That being said, growing up so alike, and yet with this huge difference, this huge, very visible thing separating us and our experience, it was unique. I like to think that maybe I don't enjoy thinking this, but it seems to me that in a way my life was kind of a controlled experiment. We had all of the same experiences aside from this one thing. We have very, very similar personalities, and we were both homeschooled for our entire education. So when I was young, I had to do two different things, the way I saw it. First, I could not look at my sister and see her insecurities as any less than mine, because I was different and I recognized that. I couldn't then say, well, what does my sister have to be insecure about? She's beautiful, she has all of her bones, and she's normal looking. I could never do that. And what it did was it made me realize at a pretty young age that everybody has something that makes them feel different or separate. Insecurity, to me, is universal, and yet it's so subjective that it can be very, very isolating. Now, in the case of my sister, I'm sure there were times when she felt afraid to share with me what she was really going through, because she was afraid to hurt me. And it does hurt me, but not for the reason that you would think. It hurts me that I was not during those times able to be there for someone that I truly love and care about. And so I think I learned to view the world in an empathetic, sympathetic way at a young age. Now, the other way that it helped me a lot, I think, to be different, is that I was so sheltered and I was so shy, but I was aware that I also faced certain challenges every time I was around people. If they didn't already know me, they were subject to certain ideas about me and who I am and what I'm capable of. And I realized at a young age that I had to define myself before anyone else did. So it gave me a very strong somewhat adaptable sense of self. And so when I say that I was raised in a controlled experiment, my sister and I have very similar personalities, and we have pretty much the same interests, and we had mostly the same experiences for such a long time because of being homeschooled. But we're also very, very different people, and I've wondered for a long time why that was. I moved just 5 months ago to New York City by myself, and I'm kind of doing a dreamer's goal. I'm trying to make it as a writer, hoping every day that I have something of value to say and that I am capable of saying it in a way that people will want to hear it or read it. So I'm scared. I'm a scared person. I'm kind of naturally a shy person, but I can't allow that to be who I am, because I have to overcome another set of expectations about me. And so I think that I present myself as someone who just, I am what I am. I love Game of Thrones. I'm a nerd, and I particularly love Tyrion Lannister. And George R.R. Martin, he came up with a quote that it's kind of silly to quote that book, maybe, well, I don't think it's silly, but it's maybe not universal, but I think it's one of the best quotes I've ever heard. Never forget what you are. Others will not. Instead wear your differences like armor, and no one can use it to hurt you. Now, I think I'm paraphrasing. I don't think that was a direct quote, but it's beautiful, and it sums up how I feel about myself. So as I do more videos, I will take suggestions. I want to be able to do something that will be soothing to people. If people really do like my voice, I'm lucky. Maybe I do have a nice voice. And it doesn't hurt me to do these videos. I'm looking for a job right now. And it's been really, really hard. So, I don't want to focus on myself as much anymore. I mean, I do need to find something, but it'll be nice to focus on maybe doing something for other people. And when I was a child, my father used to have a good deed a day, and we grew up with money was pretty tight, and but it was a wonderful environment. And I always thought that was such a great idea. A good deed a day. Your day wasn't done until you'd done something for someone else. And, I've gotten lazy about that over the years. I grew into a tumultuous, self-absorbed teenager, and I sometimes get overwhelmed. And that's not something that I want to happen. I don't want to lose the sense of doing something for others. And maybe this won't do anything for anyone. But you tell me. You let me know. So many people suggested this, that I'm a work in progress. Make me into what you think would be most helpful. What you think would be best for people to listen to. If you want me to read something specific, if you want me to tell you more about myself and my life, whatever you'd prefer. If you want to send questions and have me answer them, I'm an open book, and I would like to see if I can do this. So, again, my name is Erin. I've babbled quite a bit. I don't know that I have anything more to babble about right now, and also I think I have to go to a job interview. So, again, my voice is a little not great right now, but it should be back to normal in the next couple of days. I'm starting to feel less gross and sick. But tell me what you think. We'll consider this a trial run, and I can do it again later if necessary. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to take your suggestions, and I wish you all a wonderful day. And in some cases, if you're trying to go to sleep, good night, sweet dreams. Bye.